A dangerous severe weather outbreak is expected for much of the Midwest this Tuesday, where we have a trough that's bringing plenty of cold air behind it that's going to interact with this very warm and moist air mass located in the Midwest as a result of this strong ridge that we've been talking about over the past several days. That's really going to bring that convective energy further northward for a major tornado outbreak to occur. Continuing to move forward with what the GFS model is stating, we also see that the pressure of this storm is quite low, which means that the winds will likely be strong even if you're not necessarily going to be involved with a severe thunderstorm, because just to the north of this storm, blizzard conditions are expected where you could expect wind gusts anywhere between 50 to 60 miles per hour in localized areas in the northern Midwest. And moving forward, we see the pressure is still low. We see that there's a strong ridge, and since the winds are going to be so strong associated with this low, that's going to force that warmer and more moist environment further northward a lot quicker for a more convective environment to develop moving forward. What the GFS model is saying, the GFS model expects the worst of the severe weather to develop right around the Tuesday night time frame, where Iowa, northern Illinois, as well as portions of Arkansas, northeastern Texas, as well as a large portion of Louisiana, you should expect severe thunderstorms as a result of this instability we're going to see right around the Tuesday night time frame. So that's when you should expect the worst of the severe weather, where of course very strong tornadoes are possible. You could experience tornadoes over EF2 when it comes to strength, which is definitely very dangerous, and you need to have a plan in case you're going to be under a tornado warning, which is definitely likely tomorrow, since the area where there's going to be just enough wind shear and just enough lift will be quite large to support for a large area of tornadoes, for numerous tornadoes to develop, and that convective energy will allow for a major hail and damaging wind threat to occur as well. Now, moving on to the Wednesday time frame, we do see that the instability will subside because we're going to see the cooler air sort of stay in place in northern Midwest rather than necessarily move towards the eastern half of the United States, as this ridge is going to sort of block this cold air from moving any further eastward. So the instability will subside, but there's still that possibility of damaging winds, large hail, and I wouldn't rule out the possibility of isolated tornadoes as well, even as we approach the Wednesday time frame. So you need to be aware of that in the areas further eastward, like Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee as well, for that possibility of severe weather by Wednesday. But this should all go away by the Thursday timeframe once the center of circulation of this storm system moves well to the north of the United States, and the jet stream will straighten out for the convective available potential energy to subside once we approach the Thursday timeframe. And the European model is showing a nearly inexact forecast scenario when it comes to the area of where the worst of severe weather could occur, as well as the area of heavy snowfall, as the computer models are very confident that this scenario, very similar to what the GFS model is showing, will take place tomorrow. So the likelihood of a significant and dangerous tornado outbreak is high for tomorrow. So I emphasize to have a plan in case of a tornado, because it is likely at this point. Taking a look at the Futurecast radar to give you guys a better idea of when you should expect the worst of the snow and the worst of the severe weather. So moving forward with the Futurecast radar, you're going to see that the snow will begin to develop. A large area of snow will begin to develop right around the Dakotas by the early morning hours on Tuesday, and it will really expand as we approach the noon time, where large areas of the Dakotas should experience potentially over a foot of snow, and most areas should experience over 6 inches of snow in this area of snow. So you need to be aware of the likely chance that there's going to be blizzard conditions, because winds will also be quite strong with this storm system, like I said, because the pressure is so low. And moving forward, you're going to see that the severe thunderstorm should develop as early as the afternoon hours on Tuesday, where we begin to see the first supercell thunderstorms develop right around Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas by around the 6 p.m. time on Tuesday. And those thunderstorms will only become more numerous, where we're going to begin to see scattered supercell thunderstorms develop right around Iowa, Illinois as well, and this should move into Missouri by the evening time on Tuesday. And I'll say this is when the worst of severe weather should occur, right between the 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. time frame on Tuesday. That's when the instability will be at its highest, and that's when that's when the likelihood of numerous tornadoes will be the most likely. So you need to pay very close attention, and we're going to see a line of thunderstorms develop even into the morning time on Wednesday. And the severe weather threat, like I said, on Wednesday will subside, but there's still that possibility, especially with a squall line developing by the Wednesday afternoon time frame. So throughout Nashville, right around the Cincinnati metropolitan area, be aware of that possibility of severe weather. It might not be necessarily as strong as what the Mississippi River Valley will experience when it comes to severe weather impacts, but the risk certainly still will be there even as the storm moves eastward into Wednesday. Here's the Storm Prediction Center's outlook when it comes to severe weather. We do see that if you're in the red and if you're in the orange, that means you're either in an enhanced or moderate risk of severe weather. And so that means that more likely than not, you will experience a severe thunderstorm for tomorrow. If you're in the orange or in the red, that's where there's going to be the highest risk of tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. So keep that in mind. In the yellow area, there is a possibility, but outside of that, it becomes the possibility definitely subsides. But we do see this encompasses a large area, at least where you're under the enhanced risk. This includes the bigger cities like St. Louis, Little Rock, the northeastern portion of Texas as well. You need to pay close attention to a high possibility of severe weather for tomorrow and a likely chance of a tornado outbreak as a result of the amount of instability and the wind shear that's expected for tomorrow. Taking a look at the surface-based convective available potential energy that should occur tomorrow, you're going to see that that as early as the late Monday timeframe, we do see that much of the Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas is already experiencing a high level of convective energy, and that's expected to move northward and interact eventually with a much cooler air mass that's going to bring blizzard conditions in the northern Midwest, and that will bring the energy levels through the roof, where we could see convective available potential energy levels close to 4,000 joules per kilogram, which will create just a large area of very strong updrafts. So large hail is likely, and that will enhance wind shear as well for tornadoes to occur, and damaging winds, of course, because when we see updrafts this strong, the pressure along the surface becomes low for the possibility of damaging winds to occur with a lot of these thunderstorms. So keep that in mind, that the worst of the severe weather should occur anywhere between northern Missouri and northern Illinois, where the energy levels will be at its highest. And moving forward, we do see that it will eventually subside, but there's still going to be some energy left for severe weather to continue to persist even into the Wednesday timeframe. Another thing I want to show you guys is the forecasted amount of wind shear that's expected to build throughout the Midwest as we approach tomorrow, where we do see that the wind shear in the mid levels should be quite high. Taking a look at how the winds will be by the time we approach Wednesday, very early on Wednesday to Tuesday night, where the tornado threat should be the highest. We do see the wind direction change quite a bit with height, where winds along surface move from the south, while the winds along the upper levels of the atmosphere move from the west. So that pretty big change when it comes to wind direction will enhance the possibility of more of a higher tornado threat to occur for tomorrow. So keep that in mind. The tornado risk is very high. Of course, tornadoes aren't the only threat with this storm system. We do see that for tomorrow, much of the Dakota should experience at least over 6 inches of snow, but we do see areas in the European Models Day scenario experiencing over a foot of snow. This includes portions of South Dakota, portions of Wyoming, the extreme northern portion of Nebraska, and we even see a small pocket of over a foot of snow in Minnesota and South and North Dakota. So definitely be aware of this. Blizzard conditions, like I said, are likely, and the snowfall rates will be around 1 to 2 inches per hour at times. So that will make the roads completely impassable. So make sure to not go out on the roads unless it's an extreme emergency. So this is my forecast when it comes to this major tornado outbreak that's expected to occur tomorrow. So if you're in the pink, this is where the worst of severe weather should occur. I'm expecting an extreme severe weather threat and tornado outbreak, as numerous tornadoes should develop. Make sure to definitely have a plan in case a tornado moves through your area, because the likelihood of a tornado developing within a 50-mile radius from your area, if you're in the pink, is very high. I'll say over 50% chance. So you want to be sure to be prepared in case of a severe thunderstorm or a tornado moves through. And of course, make sure to watch out for blizzard conditions for tomorrow for much of the northern Midwest. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay safe, guys, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more updates when it comes to severe weather and even more weather related content.